This man poured millions of bottles of wine into the pool and, comfortably sunbathing on his fine wine. The toilet is broken and not even repaired. He fixes it in the pool, drinking wine that costs tens of thousands of dollars a bottle, eating and sleeping every day. It's a geek's paradise. In the future, a deadly virus has made Jack the last man on Earth. The search is on across America. No living thing is found. He leaves a message for survivors and drives away. Now there are no laws, no rules. He can do whatever he wants. He can find any luxury villa he wants. He finds all kinds of paintings and antiques to decorate his new home. Now he doesn't have to worry about what people think. He can roam around bare-chested, breaking supermarket windows with a happy little stride, wandering through the supermarkets. Take whatever you like, and you don't have to pay for it anyway. If bowling with a lamp isn't good enough, replace the fish tank. Get in your pickup truck and slam on the brakes. There are more sophisticated ways to play. Push a car and slide it down from a height. The solitude of one's own amusement. The loneliness of being alone is slowly getting to him. Looking at the old lady in the magazine. It makes him feel so good. Even the female models in the window were handicapped to the first degree. He began to paint human faces on tennis footballs. He spent his days talking to himself. He talked to himself all day about his physical needs. He even gestured to the cross end. He even crossed himself and prayed to God to give him a woman. But it wasn't until the house became a dump. The pool became a septic tank. There was no one. Jack was devastated. He chose a good place for himself. Spray painted an epitaph on it. He got in his pickup truck, kicked the gas, but then he slams on the brakes because he sees smoke rising in the distance. It meant that there were still people left on Earth, with hope rekindled in his heart. Jack. He drove there immediately. A man sees a lady's clothing. The smell turned him on so much so that the excitement went to his eyes. He passed out, but then the man opens his eyes. There was a beautiful woman in front of him, and after a few words, they fell in love at first sight and they can't help kissing each other. But the next moment, the man's eyes widened with surprise, and he realized it was a middle-aged woman. The man is shocked. It turns out that the scene was just a figment of his imagination. The woman had seen Jack's message and had rushed here. Jack then takes the woman home. On the way home, he discovers that the human race is going extinct. The woman still follows the rules. Turn signals to change lanes. They had to wait for the traffic lights to cross the road. The car must be parked in a space. Jack can't take it anymore. He tells the woman that the world has changed. They can do whatever they want. The woman is upset by this behavior, and so they break up. At night Jack is troubled. The woman finally appears in front of him, but the woman's behavior is too much for him to handle. In the morning, Jack finds that the woman is making herself at home next door. He tries to stop her. He wants to stop her because he is not ready to get along. The woman, however, says that God had brought them together. They have an obligation to keep the human race alive. The woman is growing tomatoes in her yard. She wants to grow a world with her hands. Jack, while acting disdainful, but at night he can't help stealing tomatoes from the garden. It was the first time in a long time that he had eaten fresh fruit. It doesn't take long for the pipes to break and the tomatoes are wilting, much to the woman's dismay. But she doesn't give up. She has to find a way to bring the tomatoes back to life. Jack is impressed by the woman's persistence. While the woman is away, he secretly fixes the pipe. The tomatoes come back to life. Their relationship improves. She invites Jack to dinner. In the warmth of candlelight, the two of them have been able to reconcile their differences for the future of humanity. Together they decide to work to reproduce the human race. The virus that left only Jack and this woman on the planet. Jack says he'll take a shower and start making a baby, but the conformist woman says she wants to get married first. For the sake of his own happiness, Jack has no choice but to compromise. The happy woman sets about preparing the wedding. All Jack has to do is get his wedding ring ready. It's the most important thing in his life. She went to the supermarket and started collecting supplies. Not a single thing was left to chance. She wanted to give herself a romantic wedding. Jack obviously didn't care. He's still on the loose all day, playing the odd game. In fact, he resists it. He doesn't want to marry this woman. On the day of the wedding, the flowers are all over the place. The candlelight is dancing. The wedding scene is decorated romantically by the woman. She had everything planned. Soon after the ring exchange, the man forgets all about it. The man has forgotten all about it. The woman is disappointed by this indifferent attitude. She leaves the flowers behind and leaves in a huff. No contact for 2 days. Jack is worried. He arrives at the woman's house. He finds the wedding room she has decorated. He realizes that the woman's intentions are good. Jack apologized. He drove to the gold shop. He smashed through the glass with a few hammers. He picked out a few wedding rings that he was happy with. The woman is delighted. The wedding goes ahead. After the wedding, the woman took it upon herself to adapt to Jack's habits. They played ball together. They play all kinds of crazy games together. After some time together, Jack gradually accepted her. One day, the two of them were driving along the road when suddenly a car crashes into them. Jack gets out of the car to check it out. A beautiful woman emerges from the car. It turns out that she's the same person that Jack left a message for. Jack couldn't take his eyes off her. This is the type of girl he likes. A woman was the difference between a leaf and a flower. Jack instantly regretted it. Why had he married a middle-aged woman?